Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hi there. Hi there.
$8,000.
All right, I'm just going to pull up the pledge. How's everybody doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
To be honest, I've had a rough morning, actually. I didn't get much sleep this weekend. We went camping, which was amazing. I drank a little too much, which was also a lot of fun, but I'm paying the price. So.
Yeah, the problems of age, huh?
All right. So we are live. I'm going to go ahead and say the pledge, do the intro, and I think it's going to be a short one today. Mostly we're going to be talking about how, I'll get into it. Anyway, welcome everybody to the Fireside Chat on Monday, May 24th, 2021. The Fire On Pledge is, I pledge my mind to the respectful recognition of the sovereign liberty essential to human dignity. I pledge my hands to the creation and maintenance of communal, cultural, and ecological prosperity. I pledge my eyes to watch over the integrity of truth and justice with acceptance of natural balance of diversity and equality. I pledge my heart to the connection that binds all of us throughout creation, and I pledge my whole being with humility and love to the grateful service of all sentient beings and human consciousness, and I will duly act in accordance to the principles derived from such wisdom. That gets me particularly this morning. The idea that PHIRE On is being built to create balance in the way that we transact and how we transact and what values we have as a people is like paramount to my mission here on planet Earth. It really hurts me to see such pain, see such misguided anger and aggression, and the fact that we can't all just see that we are deeply connected and feel it in the way that children can. Is something that gets me every day, and I don't know how to abate it or I can't just ignore it, right? I can't just ignore it and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go make mine and get mine, and that's gonna make it all better because I'm gonna keep myself occupied with trivialities and, you know, transient desires, right? We come here, we get to play in this world, and we're to the large part ignoring all of the suffering and ignoring all of the imbalance and just going on with our days trying to get our fun or whatever it is. And that is not fulfilling for me. That never has been. The only way that I enjoy myself is if I'm seeing that others are as well, seeing that others are in balance and peace and joy. And everybody has free will to do that which they will with their time on earth. But it seems like we have such an opportunity to really make something amazing, and why that's not the focus of humanity is beyond me. And PHIRE On has been a effort in rebalancing or putting humanity on a course that would lead towards something close to fulfillment or enlightenment as a species. It's a huge statement. What makes any individual think that they could do such a thing? I don't think any individual can do such a thing. I think it takes all of us in some way, shape, or form, but that discussion hasn't taken place in any meaningful way other than at the very top. And at the very top, they're like, there's too many of them and we need to fix this. And so the solutions that they put forth, while they might lead to something called balance, it's not noble in my opinion, in my estimation. And so we set out on this mission to fix the monetary system at the very core of its governance, right? The problem with the world right now, as I've seen it, is that too much power and economic power has been consolidated into the hands of just a few. And that has led to what we have currently, which is a crazy situation that makes no sense unless you factor in a lot of things that are not being factored into the global discussion about it. And frankly, it's because most people don't care to involve themselves in that discussion or even think about it. They're very consumed with their daily affairs, yesterday, today, tomorrow, what they're going to eat, who they're going to have sex with, what they're going to drink, where they're going to sleep. And it comes at the very heart of this. It's about taking accountability as divine beings, not just individuals who come and go, but to leave the world a better place and to build something that's meaningful. And the only way that I could see doing that is by involving everybody in a methodology and in a system that would work to allow us to make decisions together, argue about them, fight about them, whatever, but eventually come to an agreement collectively, respecting everybody's diversity, respecting everybody's origins and nationalities, respecting everybody's, innermost desires and just the right to dignity and the right to being alive. I believe we can do that, and I believe that we can do that in a meaningful way that actually creates bountiful experiences and health and well-being on the planet. Like, we have all of the technology we need to actually do that. What's missing is the camaraderie, the fraternity, the brotherhood, a sisterhood of humanity. And it's been really amazing to be here in this community with you all and feel that, even, over vast distances through the app and through our communication channels. And so when I look at you all, I'm like, this can work. This can really work. And thank God we didn't launch the token, 2 weeks ago, because we would be suffering through the crash, the crash that's happening in the blockchain space right now. And it would be difficult. It would actually be more difficult than having paused and just being like, let's wait for the right time. And like I had said in that chat, I think it was last week and 2 weeks ago, I was getting all ramped up for the 15th of May, but thank God we didn't. And I said even then that when there are delays, the universal mind or God or however you want to describe it usually has something better in store. And that's become really clear over the past couple of days. It would have been really hard for us to launch and then face this downturn in the market. It could have really been bad. So thankfully that didn't happen, and that I'm actually very confident that this correction, or this bear market as they're calling it, is actually just a temporary thing, and it was actually an operation being carried out. I saw stuff on 4chan about it and all of this, but I was actually told about this way back in January, that this month, at the end of this month, this was going to be happening, and that Bitcoin looked like, or would look like, that it was going to completely collapse, and there was going to be all of this fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the marketplace. And sure enough, it did come about. So, but I was also told that afterwards, after this short period, it's going to skyrocket again. And a lot of people in the markets analysis place and space, and influencers and stuff, are all thinking and feeling the same thing. And there's this sentiment, and I think we all as human beings are inherently psychic and inherently precognitive to a certain degree. We can tell when somebody's thinking about us and all of this when we're really in tune. And I think as a collective species, if we can harness that in a system that is safe and secure and private, and safe, essentially, then we can do some amazing things as a species. And so that's, I'm just reiterating the purpose and mission of PHIRE, and that even though there are times of discomfort or stagnation, it's like we just take, even if we're taking one step or half a step at a time, there's still movement being had. I had really amazing meetings over Friday night with some very famous people who are very excited about this. And I'm going to be meeting some very famous, they're not even influencers. They're like CEOs of like really large companies that understand how important governance and censorship prevention is. So we'll see how that unfolds. I had really good talk with our legal team and our jurisdictional tax team on how to best get you all some FHIRE tokens, because it's pretty challenging in the United States coins. That's the number one big hurdle that there is. But I think we found a really cool workaround, and I'm going to leave it at that. We're still cooking it up, and it hopefully this whole thing kind of like just lines up perfectly, right? Where the market starts coming back, the excitement starts getting bigger and more profound, and we start rising with that. I kind of have a sense that that's what's going to take place. But I also want to open myself now and open up the discussion to, we have a number of SAFTs, which are the legal way to sell accredited investors investment opportunities. We have a number of those out right now, and a lot of people that are very interested in signing those. So we might be able to raise enough money to do what we need in the medium time, in the interim, and then do the token launch in a very extravagant way the next few months. So I'm going to put together a bounty system whereby everybody that's in the app and in our community now can get themselves some, potentially without having to spend any money, because that's an interesting workaround that we've looked at. So I would rather have your involvement and your participation and faith and contributions in that way than any fiscal expenditures on your part, especially if you're, struggling or just working to get by. Like, let's do some cool shit together is basically my thinking. So David, nice comment. This canon is working. Yes, it really is. Like, everybody that I speak to wants the app already. So it's amazing to me, I talk to a lot of really wealthy people, and just because a person's wealthy doesn't mean that they know business or economics or global economics or governance or any of these things. And one of the critical feedbacks I've been getting in these discussions is like, you're trying to convince multimillionaires that the system that they made multiple millions of dollars in is fundamentally flawed. So you're inherently taking a position of superiority, and they don't like that. Everybody likes to feel like they're the big tough guy. And I'm like, I'm like trying to warn them. And the feedback I got was like, wouldn't it be intelligent if you took, even a fraction of a percentage of your winnings and holdings and put them into a hedge? Traditionally, people used to do that to gold. And they would use that as a hedge against inflation and all these other things. So wouldn't it be prudent to put at least some money into a system that could become the next system? And once I started shifting my conversations with investors that way, it started really we started really getting a lot of traction. So some little things that I've learned here, but I want to open up the conversation to questions. If anybody wants to ask stuff about the crypto markets, about FHIRE in general, anything, not a whole heck of a lot to discuss in terms of updates. I want to tell you who I was meeting with. I put a picture up on the chat before of who I did, and had a really, really great situation arise out of that. So I'm gonna look at the comments real quick. There's a lot of stupid rich people in this world. David Anderson, yes. Fong, I met one of my favorite, helpful, lovely friends through FHIRE chat. Awesome, same mission and goals. I'm eternally grateful to have a confidant and new friend via FHIRE. Awesome, thanks, Fong. That makes me feel really good. All right, so still camping here in Canada. Nice. I went camping this weekend, had a great time. I actually got to jam out with drums and guitar around a fire, and it was just the medicine I needed. Okay, so if anybody has anything they want to say or ask, please go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, so my question is, if one wants to come down to North Carolina, where you guys got that hub going on, how does one find the information on how to do that?
Good question. I will be heading up there. School ends for my kids in the next 2 weeks, and I'll be taking a trip up there shortly thereafter. We've got the conference coming up here in the first week of June, so I won't be going up the first week of June. I'm hoping to go up the second week of June. We have a couple people from the community who want to go live there and work there. I'm not really sure what state the property itself is in. After our tenants left, I have to go and check that out. But there's one big cabin that's like a loft bunkhouses, basically, and then a couple yurts. And really, I just have to see what state of affairs the whole place is in, and then I can start opening it up, and we can kind of find some meaningful way of making that all happen.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. I'm looking at the list of participants, and I pretty much recognize everybody. I don't think there are any new folks. So any other questions? Otherwise, we'll keep it short this week and go into the meditation.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes.
Thank you, Father, for the timing of all this stuff. It's cool to see the cosmic forces directing paths.
Yeah.
I agree. Because with the crash in the market and everything, like it is, everybody's asking questions, and the people that are already getting involved have learned a lot, and they are able to answer questions now. So I do believe that the timing is going to pick up correctly where it's intended to be.
Yeah.
But my question is, I don't understand a lot of this stuff at that level, but originally we were going to use Binance to purchase the PHIRE coin. As far as in the crypto space, is that still going to be a Binance based coin?
Oh, that's a really good point that you bring up, because so we have an Ethereum version and we have a Binance version, and we're also working on a third version. Really,
okay.
Really just to position ourselves on. And what happened in the past few days, also in accord with the drop in the market, was also that Binance Pancake Swap got hacked. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Dude, so somebody made off with like $53 million or something like that. Maybe it was 30 something million dollars, either way, worth of cake. And what they did is this really novel little like hack where they took what's called a flash loan. They put up a lot of collateral, took a flash loan, put that into a different coin, and then switched it for another coin at like a ridiculously weird low price. And I don't know how they did it, to be honest with you, but it proved a vulnerability in the Binance systems and the Binance chain. And there's a whole lot of FUD around the Binance chain. So I looked at that and I was like, whoa, thank God we didn't launch then, because that would have been a second real big like dent in the hull, and if not a big puncture in the hull. So whatever it was that caused me to pause, I'm really grateful for it. And yes, like you said, like the creator moves in very miraculous and mysterious ways, and I don't have all the answers all the time, and I'm just as much trying to figure all of this out as everybody else. And I know it's not great for somebody who's leading a charge in a specific direction to make vulnerable themselves and say those things, but it's the truth, right? And I would rather be honest and say, we are doing the best we can as a team and as an individual to pick the best route to move forward by avoiding landmines that we don't even know exist yet, right? Because that's the big part of this game. Like if I sell unlicensed securities to unaccredited investors in the United States, I go to Club Fed, and that ends humanity's chance of having this fucking system altogether, right? And there are different organizations working on their versions of this kind of a thing, but none of them have the background or the experience at the top levels with people who are making the decisions for humanity as I do. And if I don't get a good shot at doing this, in my opinion, I feel like we miss out on a whole timeline of probabilities that are really the highest probabilities. So, I can't have these kinds of discussions with, most investors. They just care about their A, that it's secure, B, that they're going to make a lot of money. So we have to dance in that way and jump through those hoops to make sure that we're doing that. And thank God we didn't launch right there and then when we did. So as of right now, yes, we are looking at the Binance system. I need to figure out what the ramifications are and what they're going to be doing to rectify it, because it's a decentralized exchange on Pancake, and that's really good. There are a couple new decentralized exchanges popping up. Some of the old school FIRE heads remember a guy named Dan Schmidt, and he's been popping in talking about Carbon Swap, which is a new exchange, and I've been looking into that. And I'm still like in contact with the guys from Stellar and Ripple about launching our coin on their system as well. You can launch on Stellar now. So, and there's a lot of cool things that we can do by having a number of different coins on a number of different chains. And I'll leave it at that for now. But yes, everything that everybody's been learning about PancakeSwap, about Trust Wallet, about MetaMask, about BNB, and figuring out how to work has been super. Like, we're going to have our own version of PancakeSwap. We're going to have our own DEX, our own version of Uniswap and these other ones. So how they work is fundamental to how we're going to be operating. So it's imperative, basically, that everybody has gone through that learning process and become more proficient in it. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And yeah, keep it up with the breadcrumbs so we can figure out or try to stay ahead of the game, I guess.
Yeah, and I will let you all know, as I know with any amount of certainty, that which exchange we'll be listing on, how we'll be doing it. We looked into, and I'm waiting to hear back from one of my devs, and he's taking a little bit longer time, which reminds me I should get in touch with him. Let me just ping him real quick. So I will keep you all abreast of any quick shifts in the rudder and our heading, essentially. Live in the now moments and roll with every punch. Things happen for a reason, for reasons we will never fully understand until we do. Yep, that's pretty spot on. David, you want to say something, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
Good.
So my question is, do you have all the governance like laws and do you have everything worked out to where you know exactly how you want it to work yet, or is it still kind of being fine-tuned, or how is that? I mean, are you still taking ideas? I mean, what point are you at with that?
Yes, so we have a good structure that has been worked on for maybe like 7 years now, that we feel will be a good governance model within PHIRE, and basically like corporate governance, right? However, that being said, I am always open to new ideas, and if you want to have a discussion about it, I'm happy to do so. I'd rather not do it in a public discourse yet until we have built it, right? I have a great group of advisors, like high paid, very, very well-known people. And that we've had like lots of discussions around it for a good period of time. But the key, right, is how do you decentralize ownership without having what's called the Elinor Ostrom's 8 laws of, oh my God, what is it called? The 8 laws of, I'm having a brain fart right now. The tragedy of the commons. Elinor Ostrom's 8 laws for solving the tragedy of the commons. And when everybody owns everything, nobody does, right? And there's issues there, because it's like you go to a public park that's owned by the city and there's trash everywhere. People just trash things because they're not responsible or accountable for it. We've solved that. And I haven't published it. I'm not trying to put it out in the papers. I'm not trying to do any of that, because there are other people in the game at a better point than we are that could execute on that and just wipe the whole, like somebody else would do it, right? I think it's important that we do it. So happy to have those discussions in private, my man.
Yeah, check your PM. I sent it to you.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and it would be a fun discussion. So I am considering doing a new show in addition to Baseline, which, by the way, has dropped in viewership, not because it's not been entertaining, but because TikTok has literally like capped me every time I reach, like in the first hour I release a video and I found the perfect time where it gets the most amount of traction real quick. I'll get to like 5,000 views in like less than an hour, and then poof, it just stops. And I'm like, oh, they're literally like shadow banning me. And that is a real thing. So the message is not getting out there anymore. So I'm thinking about a new show, a more long form show, where we'll actually dive into governance. We'll dive into UFOs, to just explore all the realms of current thought and politics and geopolitics and all the things that are happening, but in a longer form, like maybe hour-long kind of thing. Do you guys think, would that be something that y'all be interested in? Because if I
Right
do,
on.
yeah, I think if I do that, David, I would be discussing some governance stuff in there as well. And who knows? I don't know your background. Maybe you'd be a good person to chat with it about. So let's have a discussion, you and I, and then see if we can take it from there.
Yep.
All right, Angelina and or Jeff. Miss Angelina and or Jeff. You guys are up. Just so you know, we can't hear you. You are unmuted, but we are not hearing anything. Let me take a look at the, how do I get the other view? Show thumbnail, show active speaker video. All right, I can't see the full view. But Angelina and or Jeff, just know that you are now muted. Could not hear you. You are unmuted, but we still can't hear you. Not sure what the issue is there. Anybody else have anything they want to say while Angelina and or Jeff get their audio in order? We got a lot of nice folks in here. Good to see you guys again. Uwe. We have to have a conversation, Uwe. I think we're long overdue for one. I know you got some people out there that are interested in doing this. I had a nice meeting with Jordan last week with an associate, and both Jordan and I are going to be giving a discussion here in Delray Beach if anybody's local to the area and wants to come. I think it's March 29th. Is that right, Jordan? Like right before the Bitcoin conference in Miami, we're going to be doing something here in Delray to a private crypto group.
Xavier, I think June 3rd.
June 3rd. Okay. Oh, yes, that's right. It is. It's June 3rd, right before the conferences start. Very cool. Jordan introduced me to a really remarkable individual who's been in the game just as long as I have and has done tremendously well just as I have, and has even got some cool projects off the ground. And I got to contact that company about that. I've been off the grid all weekend. It's been amazing. Anybody else want to jump in? Have anything? Oh, Angelina and Jeff, you guys fixed it? See what you get. There you go.
Hey, are we working?
Yep.
Oh, it's a miracle. Hey, I was just gonna say a quick hi. We've driven about 1,200 miles in a Penske truck, getting all of our stuff moved, and
Good for you.
you never asked when I first spoke, because I think Angelina talked or something. I've decided my superpower is called determination mode.
Dude,
I pretty much become unstoppable.
I love that. I love that. Tell me what made you realize that.
Well, I think it was when we were moving a giant Japanese maple. And I was like,
let this maple defeat me.
it's enormous. We'll
Yeah.
We received it.
yeah,
We received it from a friend's house.
it's like it's huge.
He was
But
gonna cut it down and
yeah.
we rescued it. And then we planted it somewhere else in the meantime. And then we just transported it from Washington to Idaho.
Wow. That is a superpower.
yeah, just saying a quick hi. Everything sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to the PHIRE token and everything
Appreciate
that's
it.
going on with you guys.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah. There are times in this adventure where I'm just like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, why are people such liars? Why are people so selfish? Like, this is a little bit personal. I feel like as we are born into this world, we're like these pure, hopeful, vibrant spirits. And in the world of banking and in the world of finance, people don't like to talk about this shit, but this is like the real shit that actually makes life worth living, right? It's not the acquisition of boats and, whores for breakfast and all of these horrible things that people just indulge themselves with. It's like, let's go do all this crazy shit just because we can. But when we're born, whoever put that video up on the PHIRE on chat this morning, thank you so much. Because I remember my kids laughing, and even now, seeing the difference between an infant and like a 12-year-old who getting into the teenage years, that's when you start like getting all like huffy and puffy, and it's like, whoa, what happened to that pure, vibrant life? And I made it a point. I remember at 17 years old being like, I need to hold on to that innocence, that purity of spirit, that purity of soul, because otherwise, like, life is drudgery. That's why I've stayed life, is because that purity of love, that purity of just willingness to do what it takes to make those around us happy, and do so in a way that makes the whole situation more miraculous. Like, that's what we want, right? We want a world that makes sense. We want a world where people respect one another, that people do the most incredible art and express the divine, and that we live in balance and everybody's fed and there's no more poverty. Like, we can do that. Like, if we really wanted to, we could really do that. And to try to convince people that that is a realistic thing is daunting for some strange reason. We're jaded. I have been robbed. I have been beaten. I have been stolen from, lied to, like all of these things. And yet I still believe that that is the way and that is possible. And sometimes it's hard. Just have to say, sometimes it's hard. But, I'm just laying it out on the line here with you guys. Like, I really love you, and I'm really grateful that you even take any amount of time to dream that this is possible, to hope that we could have that world, and to believe, despite all of the fucking evidence contrary, that we could actually do this. And that Tim enjoyed so many things in this world. And I really just want to not even leave a mark so that I'm recognized. I just want to gaze upon beauty. I literally want to gaze upon something that makes sense, that makes me say, I'm happy to be here, right? Instead of this is a struggle. So God gives his toughest struggles to his strongest warriors, because there's lessons to be learned in the not so nice things of the world. And that's true. And that's probably why we're doing this all together. So I'm glad to be on this adventure with you. Unless anybody has any other questions specifically related to FIRE, or the crypto markets in general, because I got a lot to say about that. I want to respect everybody's time, and we could keep it at a short one and go into the meditation. You let me know. Give me some feedback.
I have just a quickie.
Yes,
so
please.
Xavier, this is Juliet, and I just need to make sure that I connect you and Zach. I forgot he lives in Florida as well. If you don't mind, I can give him your number, and then just if you shoot that to me, have him call you directly, or do you want to call him directly and I give you his number in that chat?
Via text is the best. I'm putting my number in the chat again. My phone doesn't accept calls unless they're contacts in my phone. So if he tries to call, it'll go straight to voicemail. He could leave a message, and then I could listen to it 2 weeks from now, or he could text me, and then that would be fine as well.
No, he's good at text. But did you put it in the group chat, the baseline chat, or my PM?
In here in Zoom, in the Zoom chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Cool.
I just don't have my readers on. Not yet, but I will. Okay, there you go. I will copy that and have him text you, and then you guys will be all set.
Very cool.
And then I do appreciate your message about saying that you were robbed and everything, because I have my little business where I help people do stuff like work on alignment and core and some exercises out there, like where they are. But I'm a Pilates and a yoga teacher, and my yoga studio just basically stole $150 from a client, which means it's really from me, because I'm going to honor that. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is my yoga studio. And like, my clients wanted to work with me directly. They didn't want to go through the studio, and I insisted out of integrity.
Right.
And now so anyway,
do you need the studio for like licensing or anything, or can you just do it on your own?
Well, right now I can totally do it on my own because it's Zoom.
Yeah.
And what I found with my very small client base, we like it over Zoom better. Like, kind of people that are super busy or, middle-aged, got other stuff going on. We like Zoom. And then I think I'm just going to rent like my chiropractors or something once every 4 to 6 weeks and check everybody's alignment, because,
You can do that
Yeah, I
over
don't
Zoom?
need their infrastructure. I'm already paying for it myself, right?
Very cool. So I'm getting a lot. You can do that over Zoom?
Yeah.
Check somebody's alignment? You don't have to have hands on?
Oh, I like to do that. If I've got a group, I want to be on site.
Right.
If I'm one-on-one, I can, or it's a super small group, I can tell people to, I can do it if it's a small group.
It just made
fairly
me realize like this, the PHIRE phone will actually be able to, like we could program it to do that, to they would have to take a picture of their back somehow, or like, you know, standing, but we might actually be able to do that. One of the things that really excites me about this whole thing is the ability to pay people to meditate. Like we could, you can set the phone up and we would actually be able to determine how deep into your meditation you are and pay you for that. Like imagine a world where people are paid to meditate, right? Like that could happen. So that's something I want to see happen. All right.
And have great alignment, because what I'm finding, my 13-hour drive from Colorado, just playing with that alignment, my back didn't hurt. I felt better. I had more energy and I didn't get sleepy.
Very cool.
So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right, you all rock. Let's get into the meditation then. Unless that the last shot, last chance. Anybody get in? Anything else? Okay. My bird has been so nice. All right, putting it on silent, do not disturb. Thank you everybody for being here. If you got to bounce and you don't want to do the meditation, all good. Much love, and I've been looking forward to this one for a while now. So please find yourself in a comfortable seated position or lying down, however you prefer. I also had Burger King this weekend, which was a bad idea. Really affects one's physiology and mental state. Welcome to the PHIRE meditation. And it'll be 3 parts. The first part will be a golden rose gold light bath that fills our body and detoxifies the stress that we've been holding in various parts of our body. And we'll visualize that light filling our vessel from the top down, from head to toe, from skin to bone, so that all of the vessels within us, the cells, the molecules, and the atoms will align in coherent structure, allowing a greater capacity for the life force of creation to flow through us, increasing our capacitive nature to draw and magnify our desired reality to us. After that, we will do a breathing exercise whereby we inhale the life force and piezoelectric energy of the earth and spiral it up our spines, opening up the channels of each of our vessels, filling our light body, pausing with the inhale, and exhaling and visualizing a whirlpool or a fountain spinning around us of life and light force energy to increase the aura of our vessel, increasing the vortex, the donut field of electromagnetic energy that surrounds us, that structures the air around us, creating our vibe. Also increasing our capacitive nature and magnetic nature to draw to us that which is our desired outcome, so that what we seek, we shall find. And then on the exhale, we will pause and then do that again 4 times. Then after that, we will do a visualization where we increase our size and magnification to encompass the entirety of the universe, stage by stage, recognizing the totality of life and the logos of Christ and of creation moving through all things in each one of our atoms. drawing upon the force of creation through our vessels in order to create that fire with awareness and love. Please be breathing comfortably, allowing yourself to settle into this moment, releasing any concerns, any stresses or fears. Allow a warm relaxation to come over you as a wave. Being grateful for this moment, the air that we draw breath from, the beating of our hearts and the fluids that pump through our vessels in order to experience this place that we call here and now. Imagine a rose gold light from the heavens coming down into your crown, top of your head, opening that pinpoint spot, increasing the width and diameter of that chakra, allowing energy to flow in, causing a deep warmth and relaxation in that point. With the rose gold light slowly moving down within our cranium, slowly moving down and filling up our head, covering our brain and our third eye. Allow yourself to float deep into relaxation. Allow that warmth to slow down all of the pulsing in your brain, the thoughts, the fears, concerns, the imaginings. Let it all melt down your forehead and the back of your neck like wax off of a candle. And as that light fulfills your third eye, know truly that that vessel, that space through which you see and perceive, which you interpret reality, is opened and warm and clear. And as the rose gold light continues down, covering your ears and your eyes, your cheeks, let any stress or tension from your forehead or your eyebrows just melt off. As the light continues down through your nose and your lips, your jawline, to your chin and your teeth, release any tension in all of your skull filled with this coherent, warm, radiating light. And as the light continues down your neck, opening up that channel where you are able to speak your truth without fear, in nobility, in honor and eternal oneness, expressing the voice of the infinite creator, the indwelling spirit of life and love's longing for itself, that you might express this in all of your moments and all of your days. And let that light continue down, covering your shoulders, covering your clavicle and your back muscles. Allow all of the tension to melt off. You are whole. You are here. As that light continues down into your lungs, allowing yourself to feel joy. As that light continues down through your biceps and your heart, experience a deep welling of gratitude for simply being here in this moment, free of any stress, free of any fears, held in the bosom of your Creator, held in the grand symphony of creation, eternal and ever present. The leading edge of your ancestry that stretches back billions of years throughout human evolution from this system and others. And as that light fills the top half of your body and comes to your solar plexus, you know undoubtedly that you are You are this being, this infinite observer, experiencing life as this person that you call I am. And as the stress melts off of your body, the light too furthers itself down into your belly and your bosom, calming any tension in your belly, any knots where the creativity has been folded and blocked. Allow that to unfold in the perfect coherent light of consciousness. And as this light continues further down into your pelvis, you know that you are accepted. You are one of the people. You are one of my people. We are one people. In the infinite body of the eternal unfolding logos of creation, we are a family of souls, unified in our love's longing for itself, and diversified in the beautiful ways that we each express our individuality. Allow the light to fully contain and fully take place throughout your vessel, covering your thighs and your calves to your toes and your heels. A body in perfect balance, floating weightless in the symphony of creation. Imagine all of the atoms and cells in your vessel lined up in perfect balance and measured coherence. With the warm life force of creation moving through you and expressing itself as here and now. We will begin the breathing exercise. On the inhale, imagine a tornado of life force energy drawn up from the earth through your root chakra, up your spine, opening up each of the channels, turning on each of the lights in your vessel, increasing the capacitive distribution of life force in your body. And on the end of the inhale, we will pause and hold it. And on the exhale, you will distribute that energy through your aura field into the air around you to create greater coherence in the molecules, to hold that capacitive charge of the life force of creation, to increase your ability to magnify your desires. At the end of the exhale, we will hold it. And we begin. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. And hold it. Inhale. And hold it. Exhale. And hold it. Inhale. And hold it. Exhale. And hold it. Inhale. And hold it. Exhale. And hold it. Please breathe comfortably as we move into the next phase. Understanding that the inhale brings the energy up and the exhale formulates it. As you are formulating the molecules of air around you and charging them with your intention, become aware of the fact that you are floating in a sea of these molecules. You are floating in a sea of atoms. much like the bubble pool in the kids' playgrounds, and the greater degree to in the structured flower of life, the greater capacitive charge that you contain and are able to move. Bodily healing, Reiki, telekinesis, telepathy. These are all skills and attributes of the human condition that have been forgotten and lost in some manner due to the lack of coherence in your field. As you increase the coherence of your own field, so too does the world's field increase in capacitive love and expression. As you are aware of this field of molecules and atoms around you, become aware of the thoughts, memories, and feelings of your own journey held in that space around you. You would be able to see it in the geometric forms of the molecules of air. That even if a wind were to come by and move those molecules, the capacitive charge is what aligns them. Surrounding you, in infinite, unfolding lotus complexity and beauty, so too is your true body. Imagine this field around you aligning in perfect harmony with your vessel and your intention at this time, creating for yourself a cocoon, an unfolding mandala of geometric form and intention in the molecules of air around you, to whatever form you most align with. Become aware of this space as living and responsive. Increase the size and magnification of your experience from contained within your vessel to floating within this field. The memories of ancient history, the potentials of future outcomes are all contained within these fields, undulating with the charges and intentions of yourself and those of you in this cohort and the rest of humanity and the beings on this sphere. Aligning oneself with these intentions and the greater unfolding journey of this soul group increases your ability to flow, increases the ability for you to be in alignment with that which naturally unfolds. Acceptance of and trust in the infinite creator and in your infinite nature allows you to experience the highest probabilities and unfold the lessons of your karmic living. As you increase your size and magnification, you become aware of this space that you are in, this building, this home, this workplace, this apartment. All of the molecules in the walls and in the ceilings and in the floors, like sand on the beach, have tracks in them of all of your emotional experiences, your outbursts, your joys, your sorrows. Become aware of the journey of this place, the story of this place, and how it has held you, kept you safe, kept you warm. The architecture of intention, thoughts become real for you to dwell within and experience this journey within. Greater capacitive understanding of the nature of all of the molecules in accordance with the intentions of all of these beings in this soul group. As you increase your size and magnification, you are aware of the greater sea of molecules that you are within, the town, the city, the woods, that this building and your vessel dwell within. All of the beings, four-legged ones, winged ones, the plant family, the two-leggeds, unfolding their potentials and intentions in the greater symphony of floating and undulating molecules of which you are a part. A sea of information and gnosis. A state of clairvoyance you may be able to maintain, to know that which is around you, the indwelling spirit and nature of those around you, and the unfolding story and song of which you are a part. As you increase your size and magnification, you become aware of the town or the county or the state that your vessel is within. A sea of infinite atoms in nearly infinite forms, expressing the infinite creator in all of its diversity, all of its yearnings and experiencing. One sea, one song, one symphony of which you are a part. As you increase your size and magnification, you are floating above the nation of which you dwell, with the millions of beings, millions of animals, hundreds of millions of plants, trillions of insects, an undulating sea of atoms and formations, intention manifest in what we call the physical, which is truly light. Intention, conscious gnosis, expressing itself, and thus you are surrounded in life. You are surrounded by eternity expressing itself. As you increase your size and magnification, you come to the outer edge of the atmosphere of this planet. Trillions and trillions and trillions of life forms, undulating in a sea of infinite atoms and molecules, expressing the various states of matter, of consciousness, awareness, an undulating sea of gnosis, experience, love's longing for itself, understanding. As you look out onto the horizon, you see your cohorts, those of you in this meditation, floating as light bodies of beautiful geometric form and intention, mandalas of infinite unfolding potential, with the life force of creation flowing through you unhindered, in innocence and purity, and the honest and earnest heartfelt strivings, the children's souls that you possess, seeking in innocence, beauty and love, balance and equanimity. See this light between us, between you and the others here, a web of intelligence, connection, interdependence, joy, support, caring, meaning. And as this web stretches from you to the others and from the others to one another, the shape of it is beauty. The shape of it is love, compassion, intention, eternal trust in the infinite light and love of the Creator. Imagine this light showering down upon the surface, a tumultuous song, a cacophony of molecules and atoms, calmed and steadied by our intention. Peace unto the beings, health unto the beings, wellness unto the earth, gratitude for this gem, this room in the many, many rooms of the mansions of the infinite, this sea of moving consciousness. As you are doing this and imagining this, so too are the angels dwelling amongst you, the guardians of this sphere, in gratitude and recognition of your development and understanding of that which you truly are. As you increase your size and magnification, you become aware of the other spheres in this solar system, the Earth's moon, its history, its purpose, unfiltered, raw truth. Each sphere its own beautiful symphony, full of its trillions of years of existence, with billions and trillions of atoms and molecules forming themselves in the myriad formations of manifest reality at the various levels of consciousness, minerals and gases and crystals and water, life forms that dwell with bodies lighter than our own. The civilizations that have taken place on each of the spheres throughout the history of this place. The various expressions of the infinite creator through the song of creation. The sea of molecules and atoms, alive with light and consciousness, dancing and spiraling throughout creation, around the pure gnosis of being that we call the soul, comprised of infinite souls coming and going, experiencing this part of creation, churning and creating atoms within which the infinite creator might hide and dwell and dance. An infinite sea of gnosis and individuation in the body of the logos of gnosis. Love's longing for itself. As you increase your size and magnification, you become aware that the solar system shrinks to a pinprick of light. And so too are you surrounded by those lights. An infinite sea of stars and systems, complete with their own civilizations and histories, their own multitude of formations and manifest forms, within which the infinite creator might dwell and dance. As you increase your size and magnification, you become aware that those lights all shrink together and you are floating above the Milky Way galaxy. A spiraling dance of infinite stars, infinite molecules, and infinite atoms, conjoined in the myriads of forms, expressing every facet of the infinite creator's divine gem, love's longing for itself, the grand symphony of creation. As you increase your size and magnification, the Milky Way shrinks to a point of light, and you are aware of millions of other points of light stretching on to infinity. Each one a galaxy comprised of infinite unfolding civilizations and star systems, infinite intelligent formulated light brought into material existence to clothe the infinite creator in its multitudinous forms, expressing life's longing for itself in the grand symphony of creation. Perfect peace, perfect bliss, infinite creation of which you are a part. and inexorably woven. As you increase your size and magnification, all of those lights shrink to one point. And you are aware of other points of light surrounding you over vast distances. And you are aware that each one of those lights is itself a universe, an atom comprising an infinite universe of potential and probabilities, infinite civilizations with infinite life forms, infinite points of consciousness, all facets of the same gem. You are aware that those atoms are formed in geometric forms comprising molecules. And those molecules form together in geometric forms comprising cells. And those cells make your body. And you are once again sitting in this place that you call here and now, with the greater understanding of all of that which is contained within you. Completely, uniquely connected with everything. With infinite star systems churning within each one of your cells, within infinite civilizations and cultures churning within each one of your cells, the potentials of infinite stars creating life within which the infinite creator might dwell in each one of your cells, working in perfect harmony and perfect balance within the consciousness of the infinite creator expressing itself as you in this moment that is infinite, perfectly at peace, perfectly still, within the grand symphony of creation. It's beautiful. Move your fingers and your toes, slowly becoming aware of your physical body here. Aware of the life that is going on around you. Stretch if you like.
I love astral projecting with you guys.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you all so very much for being here and being in this journey together.
Hey, did you guys know that the rose gold light actually evolves your DNA?
Really?
I'm gonna write about it in my Schumann's Resonance Explorers channel and forward it into the Telegram group.
That sounds good.
Yes.
I like that.
It will be under the picture of the triquerta.
The triquerta, what's that?
It is what the hell is it called? You know when a circle, two circles come together, the thing in the middle.
The Vesica
But-
Piscis.
Thank you. But
Yes.
3 of those
Ah,
with a circle in the
yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think they call it a triskelion. Or that may be a different shape.
I think that might be something else. I'm pretty sure it's triquarta, but I could be wrong.